What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 697 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you from Underground Studios. Just got back from the boy Stevie Mac's wedding. We're going to be doing a takeover episode on the Get in the Hole podcast feed, recapping all of the events from Steve's wedding. So if you want to get the inside scoop, definitely check that out later this week. But I'm here to talk about another victory Monday as the Birds take care of business and they hold off the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. I'm so happy that I haven't recorded yet, and I got back from Long Island around 3:30 this afternoon, took a power nap, ate some dinner, and you would think, everyone, that the Philadelphia Eagles are like one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they're competing for the number one overall pick. I'm going to get into this Eagles drama that's been popping off on the timeline, people taking quotes out of context for their own narratives, why the local radio station is abysmal, and why you need to support independent media like Underground. We'll get into a little around the NFL. We'll also talk some Phillies as they've made a signing, and Juan Soto has officially signed, unfortunately not in Philadelphia. We'll get into that. We'll talk some Flyers and Sixers, and the Wings make a big trade today as well. That is a pretty awesome trade that I'll talk about as well at the end of the show. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials. You want good, not even good, you want the best of the best fan analysis of your favorite Philly sports teams across the board. Follow us on the socials. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Twitch. We're on every social platform. Just search Underground Sports Philadelphia. Support local media. Days like today are the reasons you need to support your local creators, your local outlets, all of that good stuff. You can follow me on social at KBICCL311 on Twitter, KBICCLE11 on Instagram and Threads. I'm on Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok as well. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple, Spotify. We went through our Spotify Wrapped on Thursday's show, which shout out to the three people who finished in our top 1%. We were number one show for 3 people this year on Spotify. Keep subscribing. It really does help the show, allows us to do more dope stuff with and for you guys, helps us continue to grow, network, and build this thing out to be the best of the best and the go-to spot for Philly sports media. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Guys, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm itching to get to it. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video. Smash the subscribe button. Click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. Leave a comment and leave me a voicemail. Speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. Get everything off your chest. Let me hear what you got to say. Whether you agree with me, you agree with others, or we're in somewhere in between. I want to hear from you guys. Speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. The voicemail line is open 24/7, 365. So leave us a voicemail. And this show is presented by the city of Vineland. And the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on their social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
At the Vineland Municipal Utilities, we understand that when our business community thrives, we all win. As a not-for-profit utility, our reliability, lower cost of operations, and flexibility in meeting customer needs make doing business in Vineland beneficial to your bottom line. What's more, we are able to do so while maintaining our commitment to environmental stewardship. We look forward to helping you achieve your business goals now and for years to come. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's start off the way that we should be talking about this football team. It's a goddamn Victory Monday episode of Underground Sports Philadelphia, which is brought to you by Kenwood Beer. Crack open an ice cold Kenny on a Victory Monday. It's the perfect way to enjoy an Eagles victory. Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. Truly the best in the business. You can go to kenwoodbeer.com this holiday season and use the beer finder, or click on their merch tab, because this holiday season you have a little bit more time to still do it, guys. But Kenwood Beer is giving the gift of beer. You can get beer delivered to your home this holiday season. For December only, they're offering home delivery to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware residents. Those 3 areas. I know Maryland's not included there, but Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware residents. While they cannot guarantee a delivery date, if you order before December 18th, which is about a week from this Wednesday, there's a good chance it arrives before Christmas Day. So if you get that order in before December 18th, there's a good chance you'll have Kenny's ready to go for Christmas Day. They're available in 6-pack 12-ounce cans, 12-pack 12-ounce cans, and 12-pack 19.2-ounce cans, a.k.a. the Big Kenny. Go to kenwoodbeer.com. You can also use the Kenny Finder. See who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, New Jersey, and Delaware areas. You can also find it at your local liquor stores in those markets. Must be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, guys, please, as Sabrina Carpenter once said, drink responsibly. The Eagles, they get a victory against the Carolina Panthers. It was an ugly win, obviously. Not the ideal final score of 22-16 that you want to see when you're going up against a team like the Panthers. But I think a lot of people forget that this iteration of the Panthers are not what we saw for the first 2 months of the season from the Carolina Panthers. They have been very, very good as of late. They've won 2 games in their last 5, and they lost to the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, and the Eagles by a combined 12 points. They lost to the Chiefs by 3, the Bucs by 3, the Eagles by 6. They beat the Saints, and they beat the Giants. Not saying that the Saints and the Giants are, anything to get stirred up about, but they won games. It's not like they're just falling over and laying flat. They get paid to play too, as Jordan Mailata said after the game. Was it the prettiest game, stats-wise, for Jalen Hurts? Who gives a flying shit? Stats, at the end of the day, are a personal accolade that make you look good, all that good stuff. Guess what? Yards don't matter. At the end of the day, Jalen went 14 of 21, threw for 2 touchdowns in this game. He also ran in a touchdown on the tush push, ran for another 59 yards, had a key 35-yard run in this game that set up points. Saquon Barkley did his thing, 20 carries, 124 yards, broke the Eagles' single-season franchise rushing record, which was held by LaShawn McCoy. And was the passing game pretty? No, but Devontae Smith caught a touchdown in this game. Grant Calcaterra caught his first career touchdown. Congratulations to Calcaterra. A.J. Brown led the team in receiving, 4 catches for 43 yards, 10.8 yards a catch. And at the end of the day, the Eagles also clinched a playoff spot. We're playoff bound, everybody. Let's remember that. The Eagles are going to the playoffs for a 4th consecutive season in the Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts era. They've never missed the playoffs. They continue this streak of this weird faction of people who just despise Sirianni. this weird faction of people who just despise Jalen Hurts. It seems like you guys just don't like winning. It seems like you don't like success. It seems like you don't like having fun. The people online complaining, it feels like you have failed to move on from 2023 once this season started. I've said it time and time again on this show. Last year, the Eagles were winning games by the skin of their teeth week in and week out. There was no difference in the way they were winning. It was a lot of 3-point games, 6-point games, 7-point games. It was one possession games that they were winning. At the end of the day, that comes back to bite you in the ass in the playoffs. And the Eagles had a whole hell of a lot more issues than just, point production and everything last year. There was a whole dichotomy of why they were bad. This team is winning games in a multitude of ways. We just saw them 2 weeks ago blow out the Los Angeles Rams in LA. We just saw them go toe-to-toe and win a gritty-ass football game against the Baltimore Ravens a week ago. We see them eke out a win here against an underdog opponent. We've seen them win close games this year. We've seen them go to a different continent and win games this year. And yet somehow everyone still thinks this team is last year's team. Everyone still thinks that this year is no different. They still think that this team is going to fade out and crash out before the playoffs and then fizzle out in the playoffs. Are we watching the same team? I know there's people who are on my side who are watching the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles, but there's a lot of you roaming around that I don't think we're watching the same sport half the time. I just don't understand the negativity, the need to always just find some sort of negative content to put out about this team drives me crazy. I just don't understand. I get A.J. Brown after the game said the issue with the game yesterday was passing. But guess what, guys? I'm not multilingual, but I am here to say passing by textbook definition does not translate to quarterback. Passing does not translate to Jalen Hurts. Passing is a culmination of things. If you truly know football, which a lot of you keyboard warriors out there, a lot of you Jamoke fans out there who don't even know how to spell our players' names correctly, by the way, you don't know ball. Passing is an entire room. That is coach, coordinator, offensive line, receiver coach, quarterback, receivers, running backs, tight ends. I just rattled off almost 10 people who are responsible for passing. Yet some of you dipshits want to translate passing to Jalen Hurts. You want to translate passing to quarterback. Yes, I'm talking to you, Chase Daniel, who out of the blue 1-yard touchdown runs apparently are valuable now. I genuinely, you would think this team is the Jaguars or the Chicago Bears or the New England Patriots right now, vying for the number 1 pick in the draft. This team's not the Tennessee Titans. They are one of 4 teams so far this year. One of 4 before Christmas to clinch a playoff spot. The Eagles, the Lions, the Bills, and the Chiefs. That's the big 4 that normal people are talking about. Those could be the AFC and NFC championship game matchups if all shakes out right for all 4 of those teams. Yet here we are talking about petty bullshit nonsense and taking quotes out of context just to get clicks. This team just won a football game, battled to win a football game. This team has won 9 football games in a row coming out of their bye. They were 2-2, and a whole hell of a lot of you were ready to fire the coach after a win, and they've won 9 in a row. Insert the Zach Galifianakis math meme here because the math's not mathing with a lot of the way that you people out there are processing this team and the way that you're dissecting into things that don't need to be dissected into. This is not high school biology class. We're not cutting open frogs here. This is a football team that's won 9 in a row, that has an MVP candidate on it, that has a should-be Coach of the Year candidate at the helm that a whole hell of a lot of you wanted fired. This team has week over week a player of the week, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams on it. And yet here we sit, December 9th, and we're talking like this team is out of the playoff picture, like this team has nothing to play for, like there's factions in the locker room again. All so that we can get clicks and retweets and engagement farm and have people just interact with our content for the sake of interacting with it. And you know what I say to that? You know what I say to the people that are fabricating for clicks, that are taking quotes out of context because they don't have the full context, so they're kind of creating their own? You know what I say to those people? For the audio-only listeners, I just flipped the double bird to the screen. Why can we not enjoy things in Philadelphia? Why do we let a local radio station dictate the emotion meter of how we feel about our sports teams? Why are they the ones behind the curtain? Why do we let WIP and 97.5 act like the puppet master to our happiness about successful sports in this city? Genuinely, like, I don't get it. Like, that, those radio stations should not be what helps you come to your opinion about the team. Their opinion should not be yours. We're all adults here. I've seen high school kids that I'm around and working with have better opinions and better thought processes about the Philadelphia Eagles this year than people that get paid to talk about them. There is no reason to let FM radio stations control your mindset for how you feel about the Eagles, the Phillies, the Sixers, the Flyers, whoever. And this applies to all radio at this point. They are human engagement farming to just get people to call into their station, rage bait people to interact with them, to keep them relevant. There's no reason to feed into it. This team just won a football game, battled their asses off, overcame a lot. Was it pretty? No. Is every game in the NFL pretty for every team? No. I advise you to go look at the defending Super Bowl champions right now and how they're winning games. Philadelphia would be on fire if we were doing what the Chiefs are doing right now in terms of way of winning. It would be burned to the ground like the episode of SpongeBob when they thought they saved the city and burned everything down to the ground because they had Sandy's caterpillar wormy evolve and into a butterfly. I just... Do you want us to be the Bengals? Do Philadelphia fans who have no common sense want us to be the Bengals? Where Jalen's putting up 400 yards a game, but we're 4-8? Is that what you want? Because that's what it feels like you want. Josh Allen just had 360 some odd pass yards last night, 6 touchdowns in a game on the ground and passing, and guess what? His team lost. I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, what matters most is this Eagles team getting wins, finding their stride, which they have been on, and going into the playoffs and competing for a Super Bowl. Because let me tell you, if this team ends up going all the way, I can't wait to full-fledged retweet every buffoon, boneheaded, stupid-ass take that was put on the internet by so many bozos and dipshits about this team. I genuinely cannot wait. I can't wait. And at the end of the day with this game, too, good on Bryce Young and good on the Panthers for not just kneeling down because they're playing a superior opponent. Did the Eagles overlook the Panthers? I wouldn't say they overlooked them. Does it appear they underestimated them a bit? Sure. I heard a lot of people talking about trying to get the pass game going in this game too, which I didn't really understand because the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL against the run. And what are the Eagles really good at this year, guys? Oh, that's right, running the ball. Like, people just want to tweak things. And guess what? When you tweak things, it's not always necessary. And when you tweak things when it's not necessary, a lot gets fucked up. And a lot of you just need to learn to shut your mouths and enjoy the goddamn moment that we're in right now. We are watching an 11-2 football team who just clinched a playoff spot, who has an MVP candidate on the team, who has a quarterback that's doing what he's got to do to win games, who has a shit ton of talent on this team. And guess what? They're doing everything that all of you WIP callers call in about all the time, that think Kelly Green should be the permanent color and everything, that are gritty, lunch pail type people. My fists are made of cinder blocks. They're playing defense. That's exactly what all of you morons have called into WIP about for the last 30 years. All I've heard about growing up from the non-ball knowing football fans is how much Buddy Ryan's defenses were so good, and defense is what wins championships. What the fuck are the Eagles doing right now, you idiots? They're playing defense and winning football games. They're running the ball like you clamor for all the time. And now all of a sudden you want to pass the ball and you want to do things and tweak things to just, why? It drives me crazy how stupid so many of you are. And I don't care if you're listeners of this show and I'm calling you stupid, or I'm just talking to the masses right now. At the end of the day, the people who call into that station and are calling about running the ball and playing smash mouth defense, that's exactly what the fuck this team is doing, and they're winning football games. So at the end of the day, shut the fuck up and enjoy winning football. Because right now, the Eagles are 11-2, and the Phillies were still playing baseball. Not even postseason baseball. Regular season baseball. The last time this team lost a game. It makes my blood boil how stupid some of you are. It's insane. And now there's more drama. Because Brandon Graham was doing his weekly hit on the radio station, and people are taking a quote of his out of context, talking about AJ and Jalen and the passing quote and everything. And Brandon Graham says they were friends before, but things change. And now everyone wants to think, oh, that's a weird thing to say. Why did Brandon Graham say that AJ and Jalen aren't friends anymore? Did he say they aren't friends anymore? I don't think one time I heard that leave their mouths. Can we flash back to 2 weeks ago when Jalen and AJ were doing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air celebration together against the Rams, when the Eagles absolutely atomically destroyed them in prime time? Can we do a little research to realize that Jalen Hurts is A.J. Brown's daughter's godfather? Can we do a little research that Jalen Hurts was at A.J. Brown's draft party when he was drafted by the Titans? Can we do a little research on draft night when A.J. Brown was traded here? The first person that FaceTimed him was Jalen Hurts, and they were laughing like supervillains together. They are friends. They are lifelong friends. But guess what? Sometimes it's hard to work with your friends. Sometimes it's even harder to work with your friends that you consider family, because a team dynamic comes into play. Okay? That doesn't change their relationship. It evolves it. It grows it in a different fashion. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it in between? It could be all those things. But they're still friends. They are teammates. They both want to win at all costs. And their frustrations with how the game transpired against the Panthers reared its head. Football is an emotional game, and if you've never played it, you don't understand the emotions that come with playing such a physical and emotionally draining sport. The passing game was not good against the Panthers. I can guarantee they're going to hit the drawing board, fix some shit, and be ready to rock and roll against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday at 4:25, pending a flex. They're winning games, guys. Can we just be happy? Can we be happy and enjoy the moment? Can we live in the moment? Life's too short to be angry all the time. Life's too short to be negative when so much is going positive for this team. And let's also not forget, when it comes to the Eagles' offense, their entire, what was projected to be starting lineup this year on offense, their starting roster, which is your offensive line, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson in the slot, Saquon Barkley. That offense will play a total of 2 regular season games together. Let that sink in. A total of 2 regular season games. A.J. Brown missed time. Devontae Smith missed time. Lane Johnson missed time. Jordan Mailata missed time. Dallas Goedert has missed time. And look at what they're doing. Their projected starting offense this season will finish the regular season due to Dallas Goedert being out for the remainder of the regular season. The Philadelphia Eagles starting projected offense coming into 2024 will play a total of 2 regular season games together. And they are 11-2 in first place in the division, and they are going to the playoffs. Can we enjoy that? Can we enjoy the fact that this team has overcome a lot of adversity and are finding ways to win in a multitude of ways and find themselves near the mountaintop of the NFC? They are leading the division and are going to the playoffs for the 7th time in 8 seasons and for the 4th straight year under Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Because I'll tell you what, I'm having a fucking great time watching this football team win games. I'm having a fantastic time watching this team win games and go out and take care of business. You all should do the same. And if you're not, Do a little self-reflection. Find out why you're not having fun. Because I'll tell you what, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not having fun watching this football team. Is it ugly sometimes? Sure. Is it always perfect? No. But they're finding ways to win. It's not cookie cutter. And they have won 9 in a row. And they are going to the playoffs. It's not Christmas yet. It's not Christmas yet. They have 4 more games to go. 4 more games to go. Nearly 25% of their season still to play. And the Eagles are going to the playoffs. Let's do a little math here. 72% of the season is in the books. 13 out of 18 weeks. And the Eagles are in the playoffs. There's still 28% of the season to go. Go Birds. I'm having fun. And you know what else is fun? 47 brand. I'm rocking my trusted Kelly Green 47 brand hat right now. 47 is truly the best in the game when it comes to headwear. They are my favorite hats. They have amazing products across the board. From apparel for your favorite sports fans to, of course, their ever so classic hats. Shop 47 brand this holiday season for your favorite sports fan. And you can take 15% off when you sign up, when you enter your email. When you sign up for their email list, you get 15% off right off the rip. And when you use our link in the description, you get free shipping on all orders. Join the 47 family. Shop for your favorite sports fan. MLB, NHL, NFL, NBA, MLS, minor league baseball, NASCAR. They've got Premier League as well. Shop for your favorite sports fan this holiday season with our friends at 47 brand. Get free shipping on all orders when you use our link in the description and join the 47 family today. That felt good to get off my chest. That felt real good. I hope you enjoyed that rant. The Eagles are 11-2. They're doing the damn thing, and it's time to go around the NFL like we do each and every start to the week, everybody. And that is brought to you by our friends at Paramount Plus. And Paramount Plus, right now, it's that week. We're entering the week. This week it shows. Because Dexter Original Sin starts streaming December 13th with the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan this week. What is that? Thursday? Is that Thursday this week, the 13th? No, Friday. Perfect way to start. Friday the 13th, and you're getting Dexter. Good. Machi. Oh, man. Witness the beginning as Dexter's darkness first comes to light in Dexter Original Sin, streaming December 13th with the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan. When his bloodthirsty urges can't be ignored any longer, young Dexter Morgan must learn to channel his inner darkness as he transitions from student to avenging serial killer with the guidance of his father, Harry. And guess what, guys? You can watch the trailer right here.
I am a killer, but I wasn't born this way. I was made by my history, by the people around me. They say it takes a village to raise a killer.
I can get my satisfaction.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Epic trailer, epic song. Dexter Original Sin is streaming December 13th with the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan. Get started today. Use our link in the description to sign up for Paramount Plus with the Showtime plan so that you can start streaming Dexter Original Sin on December 13th, only on Paramount Plus with the Showtime plan. Let's go around the NFL, everybody. As this week was pretty wild across the board. The Lions did the Eagles no favors on Thursday night. As the Packers lose to the Lions 34-31. The Steelers get their lick back and beat the Browns 27-14. The Saints hold off the Giants 14-11. The Dolphins score Agami against the Jets in overtime 32-26. Score-a-gami in Miami. The Jaguars get a win against the Titans 10-6. The Vikings double up the Falcons and spoil Kirk Cousins' homecoming. 42-21 Vikings win. The Eagles win 22-16. The Buccaneers win the John Gruden Bowl 28-13. The Seahawks embarrass the Cardinals for a second time this season, 30-18. The 49ers take it to the Bears 38-13. The Rams win a thrilling, absolutely thrilling matchup in LA against the Bills 44-42. And the Chiefs doink their way in to another division title and beat the Chargers 19-17 on Sunday Night Football. And the Bengals and Cowboys are playing in Jerry World right now on the Simpsons broadcast as well, which is pretty sweet. But it's Bengals-Cowboys as I'm recording this 7-7 towards the end of the first quarter. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But that is your pretty much around the NFL, brought to you by our friends at Paramount Plus. Before I keep it moving, I do want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company, the best place to shop this holiday season and a perfect place to get a Muck the Fetch shirt because it is always Muck the Fets. And you can also get official Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch from PHI Apparel Company. They're our official merch providers. And if you want to stand out in the crowd, whether you're going down to M-Lot to tailgate before an Eagles game, or you're heading to the Wells Fargo Center to watch the Flyers, the Sixers, or the Wings, or you just want to get a head start on the Phillies 2025 season or the Unions 2025 season, look no further than PHI Apparel Company, because with their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds, and in their minds, you're going to stand out in the crowd. Go to phiapparel.co, and when you go to checkout, in the code tab, use code UNDERGROUND, and you'll get 10% off your next merch order from our friends at PHI Apparel Company. That's code UNDERGROUND for 10% off at phiapparel.co, so that you can look your best and stand out in the crowd this holiday season. Also want to talk to you guys about our friends at Shopify, who are revolutionizing the game for business owners everywhere. Everyone is using Shopify to sell products, to host their websites, to make sure that their products are getting to their consumers as efficiently as possible. And right now, Shopify is offering the best deal for business owners to just make sure that their business is running fully operational and ready to go. Enjoy a free. Let me start that over. It's so good I'm tongue twisted. Enjoy a free 3-day trial. Then start selling for $1 a month for your first 3 months when you use our link in the description with our friends at Shopify. Explore, build, and bring your business to life at your own pace. Sign up now. Enjoy a free 3-day trial. Then start selling for $1 a month for your first 3 months with our friends at Shopify when you use our link in the description. The Philadelphia Phillies, ladies and gentlemen, made a little bit of a headline here today as I record this, as I was on my way home. They sign Jordan Romano in free agency, Canadian baseball player, spent his entire major league career with the Toronto Blue Jays, and he is coming over to the Philadelphia Phillies on a 1-year, $8.5 million deal. And to me, everybody, there's no such thing as a bad 1-year deal in baseball, because you can either find it wildly successful or it is easy to dump that contract and simply get that player off your roster. Jordan Romano, though, he is one of the better relievers in baseball since 2021. Last year, injury-riddled, didn't have much playing time. He suffered an elbow injury this year, and he did not pitch pretty much after Memorial Day. May 29th was the last time he pitched. He had arthroscopic surgery on his elbow in July. From 2021 to 2023, Romano posted a 2.37 ERA, saved 95 games, and he made 2 American League All-Star teams from 2021 to 23, striking out 230, walking just 70 in 186 innings. He posted an MLB best 7.4 WAR among relievers in those 3 years. And for context, and that's according to Baseball Reference, for context, Milwaukee's Devin Williams ranked second with a 6.3 WAR. I think this is a sneaky strategic signing by Dave Dombrowski and the Philadelphia Phillies. You add Romano to a bullpen that includes Matt Strahm, Jose Alvarado, Tanner Banks, Orion Kirkering, Jose Ruiz. I don't believe Dave Dombrowski really, though, when he said last week that it would be likely they acquire only one righty reliever to complement that group I just listed. I don't see this as the end of the Jeff Hoffman era in Philadelphia. It's a 1-year deal for Romano, and I view this more as your replacement for Carlos Estevez, who you acquired at the trade deadline. I think Jeff Hoffman fits this team still very much so. He is a great late-inning reliever. I don't want people to be clouded by the postseason with anyone in this bullpen. It was just a weird, fluky thing that happened with the bullpen where they were a strength for us the entirety of the regular season. And I like adding Romano as a late-inning leverage guy. He saved games, in the big leagues, which I think is huge. And I think there's no doubt in my mind that Dombrowski's not done. This being your only move for bullpen help would be a disaster. Now, I did put this on Twitter. I said the only other thing that makes any sense to me if this were to be your only bullpen acquisition. But again, it doesn't really make sense because this person I'm about to talk about is a lefty, where you already have 3 lefties in the bullpen. The only other thing that would come to mind from a Dave Dombrowski situation and them trying to get creative is if they were to acquire Crochet from the White Sox and you still hold on to Ranger Suarez in that situation, which I think it would be silly to trade Ranger to the White Sox, but then you move Ranger to the bullpen because you saw how with the innings impact had on Ranger last year, pitched a ton, and he ended up with that back injury. I don't know if that caused concern for them. That was just me thinking outside the box. Shout out to our lacrosse podcast. Of an approach that you could potentially have. But again, it doesn't really make sense to me. I still think Jeff Hoffman's very much in play to be re-signed by this team. Hoffman is a guy who wants to be here, has a lot of relationships with people on this team. Most notably, Bryce Harper, who is the sole reason Jeff Hoffman was brought to Philadelphia. But I like the Romano sign. I think it's like a B- for me. He's a very good pitcher, and if he can return to form, be healthy, the Phillies may have gotten a steal here on a 1-year deal for a high-end leverage reliever at 31 years old. I think it's a solid move. He's got 105 career saves, a 20-17 win-loss record, and he's got one hell of a badass entrance as well. And I'm just thinking about that entrance at Citizens Bank Park. I like the signing. I think it's smart. It's a good first step for this team. It very much reminds me of when they signed Matt Strahm a couple years ago. So I do think that There are a lot of other moves that will be made this offseason. I think there are a lot of other there's a lot more on the table that's to come. And we had to wait for a lot of that to arrive because so many people don't realize what we went through when we waited for Bryce Harper to sign in 2018, 2019. We were still 2.5 months away at this point from Bryce signing. But Juan Soto was the domino that was going to kick off free agency. We had to wait for Juan Soto to sign for anything to get going. Now we've seen a plethora of moves happen since Soto has signed. And nothing was ever going to be huge. You know, the Willy Adames signing to the Giants was like a little wind on the domino, and we were waiting for the big domino to drop. And now it's dropped, and now free agency is wide open for everybody. Juan Soto signs a 15-year, $765 million deal with the most insufferable franchise known to man, the New York Mets. I'm not happy that he's going to the Mets. What I am excited for is for Mets fans to realize Juan Soto is an average right fielder at best. Juan Soto will be a DH for a majority of that contract, and you'll be paying a DH $51 million guaranteed for a majority of that contract. And I want Phillies fans to realize Juan Soto was never coming here. Logistically, it just didn't make sense. It was a pipe dream. I think Middleton and Dombrowski read the room correctly on Juan Soto. He's a talented player. Don't get me wrong. Is he worth $765 million? Some people will say yes. Some people will say no. I'm indifferent. Like, he's a damn good player. Is he worth more than Shohei Ohtani? To me, no. But it sucks that Juan Soto is one of the more fun players to root for, and we ain't rooting for Juan Soto in Philadelphia anytime soon. Yeah. Baseball contracts are wild, and everyone's talking about, oh, baseball contracts are broken and this, that, and the third. I think Jeff Passan said it best. At the end of the day, you're paying for somebody who's 26 years old. Baseball, age matters so much to owners, GMs, scouts, everything, that it's almost the number one thing that matters. And when a 26-year-old phenom hits the free agent market, that's not every day. And the Mets kind of overpaid, in my opinion, for that. And listen. The Mets went on a run last year, overachieved tremendously. And I just want to know, who do the Mets have pitching for them? Because outside of Kodai Senga, I don't see pitching. That, you know, they lost, I think they lost Manaea too, if I'm not mistaken. I know they lost, Manaea's a free agent, so, like, who knows? They lost Severino. Like, I don't know. Baseball's a full team sport. You need a roster to compete in baseball. And the Mets have Lindor and Soto. and what's his name is going to be a thorn in my side for the next decade. I can't even think of his name. He makes me so angry. The hell's his name? Mark Vientos. He's going to be a thorn in our side. But outside of that, like, I don't know. Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, Ronald Acuna Jr.'s brother, Francisco Alvarez, like, they don't scare me. Do they have talent? Yes. But, like, the Phillies overall are a more talented team. I don't understand people saying the Mets are better than the Phillies. Were they last year because they beat us in the playoffs? Sure, you can say that. But at the end of the day, the Phillies are a better overall and more talented roster, top to bottom, than the New York Mets. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And the NL East is now the best division in baseball yet again. You'll have the Mets in the mix a little bit. And it's Phillies and Braves. And the Nationals are frisky. It's going to be a dogfight. And that's why Dave Dombrowski and John Middleton got to assess this offseason super calculated. They can't do anything crazy stupid that's going to, like, alter so much. But they also can't stay status quo. And I don't think they will. I think there's a lot more to come in the pipeline. And today with Romano was the starting point of their free agency approach. So it remains to be seen what happens there. But let me know what you think about Jordan Romano signing with the Phils. You can leave me a voicemail at speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphi. Or no, I'm sorry. speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. It's a full name. We'll do some quick hits here. But before I do, I want to talk to you guys about the Fly Guys and our friends at Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the industry. From sunglasses to blue light glasses to prescription lenses, Tomahawk Shades has you covered to make sure your eyes are protected. Go to tomahawkshades.com or use the Tomahawk Shades app on the App Store, Google Play Store. And when you go to checkout, use code USP for 25% off your next order from our friends at Tomahawk Shades. That's code USP, tomahawkshades.com, or in the Tomahawk Shades app for 25% off your next order. Flyers continue to do the damn thing where they just accumulate points in ways that we have never seen them do before. They lose on Saturday 4-3 in overtime, but a win is a win when it comes to this team, and by a win, I mean getting points. They unfortunately lose to Utah 4-2 on Sunday, but overall 28 points. They're still very much, in the neck of the woods of catching the Islanders and Rangers. They're only 1 point ahead of the Flyers right now. Not saying that, playoffs are what we're shooting for. This team is in year one of a rebuild, and we're seeing them perform extremely well. The young talent's performing well. And as I record this, happy 20th birthday to Matvei Michkov. He goes from being the most talented teenager in the NHL to the highest scoring 20-year-old in the NHL. He has just been sensational for this team. The Boston Bruins are a scumbag organization too. I hope to meet them at the gates of hell and just tear them down because they wanted to do some slick shit and the refs don't call anything on it. And if it was any other team in that situation, two different teams, that probably gets called. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. But good to see Torts sticking up for the team afterwards and calling the bullshit out for what it was. So we'll see what the Flyers do to get back on track in Columbus, which will be very much an emotional game on Tuesday night. First time that the Flyers and Blue Jackets will play against each other since Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau's passing. So I'm sure Johnny and his whole family will be in the building. It's going to be a pretty emotional game on Tuesday. And then Thursday, the Red Wings come to town. And then on Saturday, the Flyers go to Minnesota. And then they're off until the following Wednesday on the 18th when they go to Detroit to play the Red Wings again. And then they have 2 at home and against the Kings and Blue Jackets in Philly. And then they go to Pittsburgh. And then they go out west to round out 2024 and kick off 2025. But Flyers are doing their thing. It's one of those things that you just want to see progress of the young stars, of the young players, see how this team continues to mesh and gel and find their identity, and they're doing a great job of it. And you can't be mad at this Flyers team. It's one of those things where you're just enjoying the ride, seeing how things progress and play out, and then when it all shakes out, it all shakes out. Again, we're in year 1 of this rebuild process. It's going to take some time, but I think Danny Briere and Jonesy are doing a great job pushing the right buttons for this team, and we'll see how it shakes out. But they're back on the ice tomorrow, Tuesday, against the Blue Jackets in Columbus. The Sixers are finding their stride. Talk to you guys about our friends over at FOCO before I talk about the Sixers. FOCO, the leaders in forever collectibles, and recently FOCO's been releasing lots of new merchandise and products for all fans to show off their favorite team, including our Philadelphia 76ers. We have the whole curated list down in the description of the episodes. It's also in our link tree and all of our social media bios. The shopping list features the 76ers team overalls, the Joel Embiid Big Head bobblehead, the friendship bracelets, the team gnome, the bottle cap wall sign, the Sixers action backpack, and then my holiday season favorite, the Sixers team property Sherpa plush throw blanket. Shop for your favorite Sixers fan or your favorite sports fan this holiday season with our friends at FOCO. Officially licensed products from Major League Baseball, the NBA, NFL, NHL, WWE, college football and basketball, MLS. They've got you covered. Use our link in the description. Shop for your favorite Sixers fan and your favorite Philly sports fan with our friends at FOCO, and we thank FOCO for sponsoring the podcast. The Sixers are finding their stride a bit, question mark. Who said that Sixers could get hot, everyone? Who allowed this? Who greenlit this idea? Joel Embiid was back on the court this weekend, which was nice to see, and he played one hell of a game against the Chicago Bulls. 31 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists in 33 minutes for the big fella. Tyrese Maxey had a triple-double, 25, 11, and 14. Paul George gave you 12 in 35 minutes. Jared McCain gave you 11. It was good to see Joel Embiid back and kind of in Joel Embiid form. I think he had 19 points in the second quarter. That's what you want to see from Joel, and it's one of those things that you're going to have to manage the knee issue, and it's not that it's injured again, it's just the swelling. Joel's a giant human being, and I think a lot of people lose sight of that. He is 7'2", and the pressure that comes down on his knees with the way that he plays and the position he plays, his knee is going to swell. It is a foregone conclusion. And it's just something that the Sixers are going to have to manage. They're going to have to, no pun intended here, process through it and figure out the best means of action for Joel's playing time and what makes sense so that he doesn't suffer a career-ending injury, so that he is not out for extensive amounts of time. But it is something that they're going to have to manage, and people just have to kind of come to terms with that. But when you see Joel go out in that game like he did against the Bulls, you see that Joel can still very much play basketball at a high and elite level, and people who are questioning that are just silly. And it's just a matter of time with him getting back into the swing of things with this team and this team finding their stride chemistry-wise. Right now they are currently, as I look at it, a game and a half out of the 10 seed. And again, I said this on last week's episode, it's gross to think about, 10 teams make the playoffs, and obviously the play-in is part of that, but it's just a weird thing that more than half the conference makes the playoffs to begin with. But they're a game and a half out of being eligible for the playoffs, and looking at it, they're 4.5 out of the 7 seed behind the Hawks and the Bucks. So, I mean, if they find their stride and they start to play better team basketball, the Sixers will level some things out. They're 7-15 now. Still a lot of work to be done, obviously, but good sign that they're putting some things together to really look like a competent basketball team. They should have won that game Wednesday against the Magic. It kind of slipped away from them, but they've won a number of games now in a span where it's like, okay, they're starting to figure some things out, which is a good sign. But a lot of games left to be played, and they still got to figure a lot of things out. But slowly but surely, it seems like they're finding their way, which is a good sign for this basketball team and for the sanity of Sixers fans everywhere. But we'll see. They are back on the court on Friday, so a nice little week off, I believe due to the NBA Cup quarterfinals and all that going on. But the Sixers back on the court Friday at home against the Pacers, and then Monday they're in Charlotte to take on the Hornets, and then they are off again until Friday, December 20th, when they are back home to play the Charlotte Hornets yet again for the third time this month. And then they go to Cleveland, home against the Spurs, and then they go to Boston on Christmas Day. So we'll see how that Pacers game shakes out. I think having the nice little rest and reprieve here before Friday's game is good for them. 4 days off to relax, recoup, play at home, and hopefully Joel Embiid will be ready to go and play in front of the home fans and put on a show against the Pacers. But we'll see. We shall see. Last bit here, too. A little fun note. The boy, Michael Sowers, is now a Philadelphia Wing. As we were on our way back from Stevie Mac's wedding, that news broke. The Wings traded for Michael Sowers from the Albany Firewolves for a 5th-round draft pick. I'm stoked. It appears Michael Sowers is going to be suiting up and playing for the Wings as well. He was drafted in 2020, has never played in the NLL. But now Michael Sowers playing for the hometown team, and I'm very excited for the boy to be home, get a shot to play alongside a lot of people he has some good relationships with, like Blaze Reardon, Brennan O'Neill, and be a part of this team. It's going to be a lot of fun. Happy to have Michael Sowers home. And we're working on getting Mike on both this show and Outside the Box, so looking forward to having him in Philly as a full-time Philadelphia lacrosse player, which is pretty sick. The king of Philly lacrosse is home. That's all I got for you guys on this one. Make sure you're following us on the socials, wherever you consume your social media. We are there at Underground PHI, or just search Underground Sports Philadelphia to find us. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Twitch. We're on everything. You can follow me on Twitter at KBICZL311, KBICZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. I'm on Blue Sky, TikTok, and YouTube as well. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps more people find not only this podcast, but our entire network of podcasts on those platforms. So keep reviewing, 5 stars, keep subscribing, and let's take this thing to the moon. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. We are ever so close. Smash that like button, ring the bell icon, leave a comment down below, leave me a voicemail at speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. And let's not forget that this show is presented by the City of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. It's been episode number 697, a Victory Monday yet again episode of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. It'll be me and Harrison on Wednesday breaking down whatever the hell else comes out of this unnecessary discourse going on about a winning football team. And joining us on Wednesday's episode will be the one, the only recurring guest and resident Yinzer, Wesley Euler, to preview Eagles Steelers with your boy. You don't want to miss it. It's West Week on Underground Sports Philadelphia. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Go Birds. Peace.